Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Depending
sir.
on where you look, it'll be the they'll either be in 4th place or 5th place, but they're technically in 5th due to the tiebreaker and all that between them and DG. So working our way right into Cafe here. Again, Obey Alliance, Akatsuki. I'm joined by the beautiful Rams. Rams, you ready for our match number 2 of the night?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready to see Obey Alliance show that they're supposed to be a Pro League team and not a Challenger League team. They've been showing it all season, and Akatsuki still have a chance, potentially, at making 2nd place, I think. I'd have to look back at the standings, but, they're
they
going to try to
technically
take
do.
Obey. They're gonna, yeah. Okay, so we're seeing a Thermite and a Thatcher being banned. We saw a Thatcher ban last game, so let's see how a Thermite ban incorporated into that changes things. Maybe we'll get to see Maverick being brought since Maverick was banned last game.
I hope we see the Maverick being brought, but it is gonna be a Maestro ban as well. So, I mean, kind of standard bans. I mean, with the Thermite and the Thatcher ban, this is gonna turn this into one hell in a cell, if I do say so myself. As, I mean, the Thatcher is just gonna be just troublesome with taking out utility. I would assume that we're gonna be seeing Obey play a lot more mute on this side as and Mazi, as I know that they play it a lot. Just in general. So with these bans, I definitely look to see them take advantage of that, unlike what we saw in the previous matchup. So getting right into things, that mirror ban coming out very last, a typical ban for this map. Real Kitchen first.
Yeah. Kitchen first to abuse the no Thermite, I would assume. This is just going to strengthen the defenses on this map even further. Already defender-sided, this is going to be very difficult for the attackers, and we're seeing a shield coming out, something we saw during the last game that Ryze utilized very well at the same time. So let's see if Akatsuki can use it as effectively as Ryze did to gain that extra attacking round that we were talking about, where instead of the typical 2-4 split in favor of the defenders, it was a 3-3 tie, and that did help Ryze, I think, a little bit, but only in securing a tie and not a win. So let's see the differences in the way that these two teams are setting up. First, Echo is on the map this time instead of Cade and Maestro, which was utilized a lot in the last game.
10 seconds left before insertion.
It looks like the VIP room positioning where Abinai is placing his ADS right now is going to be another position of importance to Obey, as they seem to be strengthening that position via the castle barricades, echo drones, and multiple operators playing in that area, most likely to keep control of the red hallway for as long as possible, forcing the attackers into a sort of choke point. But a choke point kind of favors Montaigne, so we're just gonna have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I definitely think that we're gonna again see the Montaigne. It's gonna be interesting to see how well they choose to bring this, and if they're gonna use it more as a team player and a team role, as looking at it with the different lineup. We do see a setup coming inside of the bakery. We do have the Jaeger of Abunai here to try to hold off this push from the forefront. As again, he's gonna have to deal heavily with this Montaigne. He's just gonna push in and possibly just be able to push out. Pixel will take down Abinai though, so it's not even gonna really matter. A nice shot there from the Sledge to take down that operator early on and give away the control of Bakery with very ease.
Yeah, I think the castle right there was just looking for the player playing on top of the car, but unfortunately not seeing him right at that moment. The rest of the attack is going to be droning around looking for the defenders, trying to locate them, but they have full control of the A site, or they did for just a moment there before Forrest rotated his way back in. Now they're going to know Forrest positioning, going to be stunning him out, looking for the peak. Forrest shooting back towards Prophecy, going to land some shots. They're both very, very low, as Prophecy is going to end up finishing Forrest off. Now Grixer holding the angle on red, but there is an attacker playing outside of the window. He has to be aware of this. He's going to walk right into his shots most likely, as the plant looks like it's going to be going down right behind Talon's shield. This is what we wanted. This is what I wanted to see out of Montaigne before, but we did not. Fozo, with no Echo Drones in position to deny this, is going to take the head off a drip. Prod gets a shot onto Grixer, playing outside the window. Call out now going to be trying to take Grixer's position, but unfortunately he's taken out by Pixel at the same time. Now Fozo spots that player on the other side of the bakery for just a second. He's going to be looking for the remaining attackers. Some shots raining in from... Ooh, nice shot onto Pixel. He ended up winning that fight. I thought he was going to lose it, but is losing time on the diffuser and is going to walk into the sights of Prophecy, holding the angle behind the half-wall double window.
An excellent round from Akatsuki. Easily able to push in through Bakery, take out that Jaeger, and then push in through the rotate holes made by the defense. And if this Montaigne continues to be brought, I don't see that hold inside of Bakery working out very well. Especially if you've got the stature ban, you definitely need to use that to your advantage and just bandit trick or Kaid trick those walls and not give them those choices to rotate in through freely. Gonna be seeing a Glass possibly taken out by Talon if it's not 6-picked. I assume it might be. It looks like he will be. Yes, going back to that Montaigne. So, definitely a good choice there. That is going to make them a little bit scared, though, to peek into smoke, as it's going to be coming out from the Montaigne. So, that's going to make that just forces the defense to be wearisome that there's, there might be a smoke behind or a Glass behind the smoke. He'll be able to see us, so we can't peek that. So, definitely going to be looking to see how they choose to deal with it. As again, we're going to be seeing the Nomad Broad, actually, and our first Mozzie of the match.
We keep seeing Mute and we keep seeing Mozzie, but never being played together. What is up with these two teams and just not wanting either of us to be...
Exactly.
Also, Nomad being brought, I think this is the first time we've seen Nomad or Gridlock being brought. At least in the games that we've seen on this map today. So, you know, we're going to have to see exactly where those air jabs are positioned and how effective they are. If Akatsuki end up doing a similar attack to what Rise Nation did, Nomad could be very strong, given the position that those air jabs could be placed if there are no defenders in position to get rid of them. But if they attack it a little bit more standardly, the way that we saw 2F attacking it, they can still be placed in good positions, but I think that a much more effective attack from the opposite side that what Rise were doing would favor Nomad more. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, these teams have practiced these strats multiple times against multiple teams with multiple variations of operators banned and operators being used, so they're going to do what's most comfortable for them unless they have to adapt on the fly. So Grixer playing down in the reading room now. Going to be trying to wait for a C4 from below, I would assume.
Yeah, trying to use those C4s to their advantage, as they only, possibly have two. I'm not sure if Fozo was bringing the impacts or the nitro cell, but it looks like they're trying to contest onto Fozo immediately inside of Train. Some pre-fires coming through as Fozo is going to just try to peek this angle. Will he take the head right off? No! It'll be the IQ of Prophecy finding that early pick onto the Kaid. No, that was a Kaid. I thought that was the Mozzie, but he was running the AUG, which is a very interesting choice. You don't normally see that. You'll most often see the TCSG being brought by that operator, just because it packs so much of a punch, but choosing to bring that on the roam is definitely a wise decision, I'd say. Is about a minute and a half or left in this round, and with already one nitro cell off the board, it's looking good for this attack, as it's going to be Talon to try to forefront this push. Does have the diffuser in hand, which is something different than what we saw being brought by the by Rise, as it's going to be a different choice with the operator setup.
I think you need to flip the banner at the top.
I just saw that too, and that's why I kind of got distracted.
Anyway,
so, yeah.
Talon locking down line of sight from the balcony towards the new balcony at the moment, as Drip and looks like Pixel are going to be pressuring onto White. They definitely need to secure some of these positions, but they already have a rotation hole going into the bar, as air jabs are getting placed down from above. This is looking good for Akatsuki. Some pre-fires going out, not quite landing on anything, but just Prod making his position known as he's stopping some of these shots. Oh, a C4 from below could kill the Montaigne, and will it? Yes, it will. Now Forrest with another kill at the same time, but Pixel's going to trade it back onto Forrest. Now in a 3v3 scenario, 20 seconds left. Oh, Abinai saw the sledge for just a moment, but didn't take any shots. Grixer from below still going to be denying the plant, but Pixel answering back, going to be taking a ton of damage, getting stuck in the reload animation, is going to lose the fight. But then Prod gets another kill as well, so now it's a one-on-one between Call Out and Prod. Call Out just has to stay alive for as long as possible, and he doesn't know where the attacker is. And unfortunately for Prod, he is too far away to make anything happen, and Call Out just waits patiently for his team to get that round. Well played. Lots of trades back and forth between both teams. It's unfortunate that Prod wasn't in a position to actually challenge Call Out at the end. I really wanted to see how that one-on-one engagement would have played out, but the defenders are going to win on time. Great play by Grixer and good call-outs by his teammates to tell him where those attacking players were either planting or pushing in from. Getting that kill on the Montaigne was huge, along with good trades coming out from Pixel. The timing on Abinai's peek towards White and Pixel to kind of skate past him there was really absurd, because right at that moment when Abinai looked away and all the trades started happening, if Abinai wins the fight first, those trades don't happen. So
Attackers need to locate and defuse
just
as many
a
bombs
strange miscommunication, it seems, between Obey, even though they win the round. It's just something for them to focus on as they move forward. Once again, now we are going to have Mozzie and Mute finally being brought together, and a Ying being brought by Talon, something we typically don't see ever, because Ying has significantly fallen out of favor ever since they changed the way that her gadget works and took away her smokes, which was such an abusive combination in conjunction with the way Glaz used to be before they changed him.
10 seconds to insertion.
So we're gonna have to see whether or not the Yings are going to be utilized at all. And something that I really want to see and really have yet to see used at high level play
Use a bomb.
would be Ying's Candelas used as like fuses cluster charges from above.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To disorient the players in the site and push onto them that way. Oh, that would be so cool to see if a team could execute that, but most likely what's going to happen is Talon's going to get into a gunfight and lose because his gun is nowhere near as good as his adversaries.
Yeah, I agree. That gun is very weak, and it's been nerfed quite a bit. And so have the Candelas, honestly, with the new changes. But like you said, it would be interesting to see them use it as kind of a fuse role and to trying to ying in from above. But either way here, we're going to be seeing a standard lineup here for this first floor. Fojo on that Legion, trying to gather any intel, but Prophecy's likely going to be able to spot out all those goo mines. And
All he has to do is pull the trigger.
if he just had wall hacks, if only he
know.
had wall hacks, he'd be able to spot that out. But oh no, could we see Abinai go for the run out here onto White Stairs? Seems like he has the intel that there's somebody out there, but isn't sure that there's not going to be somebody watching his cover. Grixer are just taking out a few drones, and it's curious to see that there's actually no lines of sight opened up from Reading Room, but looks like Grixer's actually just going to open up these as we speak, and going to be able to peek right through. And again, it looks like Abinai tried to go for the run out, but maybe just baited it instead.
I think he ultimately decided not to go for it, and Grixer making some very scary looking movements there, especially making those shotgun holes and then laying down to look at the windows. Not quite sure what he was thinking there as an attacker. Could have been staring right back at him, but Fozo playing inside of pillars is going to be trying to halt the attacker progress from a different angle as he sees two of them pass, not landing any shots. Can now hold his position and wait as an air jab gets set up above the mining room door. Talon taking a little bit of damage from a spray as Drip is going to take down Forrest. Drip now opening up an angle towards Reading. He's going to be trying to lock down that player. Most likely Grixer still playing in that position is now going to be pushing up White Stairs. Prophecy holding the angle towards pillars. Fozo could walk into that or could go for a pre-fire. He could do a lot of damage here if he times everything appropriately. Is actually going to get flashbang somehow. A C going off to distract the attackers, but an air jab is going to shoot Abinai straight back into as he was about to get a kill there. Prophecy taking a ton of damage, eventually does get down, and the plant is going down. Talon successfully plants the diffuser, and he's going to get taken down right afterwards. This is a huge cluster of kills coming from all over the place. Fozo sneaking his way as Grixer picks up one into mining, looking for that player is going to take him down now in a 1v3 scenario. Pixel has to go up with his kill, but he can't. Fozo winning it out. And now going for the casual pickup on the call out, being like, oh, come on, bro, I'll pick you up. We'll go defuse it together.
Get those extra 50 points, you know? Try to go for the MVP. So, Grixer able to get this defuse. An excellent clutch there from the Legion of Fozo to find all those kills inside of mining. Looking like a good round there on the defensive library and dining. Gonna be putting themselves up now 2-1 here over Akatsuki, looking much more like the Obey that we've seen in the previous play days here on round 3. But it looks like we're going to be going back down to that kitchen now, as they can't go back to reading room or the bars, so they got to go to either mining and dining or to kitchen service, kitchen cooking. And definitely the smart choice to go to kitchen service and the kitchen sites. As the site of mining has it's been out of the meta ever since this map rework.
Yeah, I think that the reading room and the dining room objectively is better, and it's kind of funny. You know, it's a funny coincidence that that site eventually got added in after work. Because I was saying for the longest time on the old cafe that if they would just add a site where it's dining room and reading, or dining room and kitchen, like a split bomb site, one above the other, you know, like with the destructible floor, there'd be a lot of potential for bomb sites in that regard. And they actually finally did incorporate something like that in addition to the rest of the rework, which I think is probably some of the best we've seen in it, with like Clubhouse being right up there with it. They're doing a really good job on the map reworks, and I'm really excited to see some of the upcoming map reworks, as you know, we've just seen part of a theme park rework. I don't think that's the finished product. I think that's a little bit of a teaser as to what we're going to get coming in the next few seasons. But what's really interesting is just how effective Montaigne has been on this map since, especially in these last 2 games. It just seems like Montaigne swings the attack even after his nerfs back in the favor of the attack, at least enough to make it a little bit more of an even contest, because up to this point we've been seeing a lot of defender-sided cafes, and with Montaigne it seems like it's making it a little bit easier, and this is pretty much the flawless attack we saw from Akatsuki before. So we're just going to see how they play it out this round and what adaptations we're going to see out of Obey, which they're going to adapt quickly. That's the kind of team they are.
Oh yeah, definitely a team that adapts very heavily on the fly and is able to find some very much success in counter-stratting the opposing team. So we'll be seeing them try to take this attack up onto the mining room. It's going to be Grixer here, taking out a few drones as well as a few air jabs as he'll rotate back over towards Fireplace and see if he can't make anything happen. But Abonai there actually to take down Drip on the top floor roam. An interesting place to be, is it looks like that might have been out through the window or something. I'm not sure where the Zofia was. No, he just dropped the skylight there.
Skylight, yep.
Yeah, so an excellent kill there for the Jaeger. Yeah, unfortunate timing, but looks like they're going to start to relocate this push on to the main bakery, as Pixel's still weary of this Jaeger / Mozzie roam coming up on the top floor. Grixer's made his way into the laundry room, so just going to wait for the time being and see if he can't make a rotate in through library.
I really like the way Grixer has been roaming on this top floor. Yes, he does have some help from Abonai, and this, excuse me, not the top floor, but the middle floor in general. He doesn't give up control fully. He just delays and delays, utilizing Mozzie's utility most likely to his advantage, and rotates around utilizing the shotgun as well, and he doesn't give up full control. He always kind of lingers. He has that lingering presence on the map, and now in conjunction with this position from Abonai, they could end up going for a retake onto the Sledge, who is effectively in a 1v2 scenario unbeknownst to him. So Abonai holding this angle, Sledge is literally going to walk right in front of him. Yep. Pixel getting taken down, and now top floor control has been retaken. They have to be careful of the hole that Grixer made earlier.
Ooh.
As that one Echo drone does get taken down. Prophecy going to be now holding this angle and waiting as the callouts are going to come in. That Montaigne is in sight. Most likely Grixer will rotate to that position. Prod trying to get rid of the barbed wire, but Pixel's been taken down by Callout, and Prod has been taken out as well. Talon with a double kill with the pistol, however, in a 1v3 really isn't going to be able to do much. Is going to try to plant in the midst of the smoke. This is his best option, but couldn't plant in time. I don't know what happened. He either fat fingered or he was too close to the sandbags or something. He literally couldn't even plant the diffuser, or maybe it was the echo drone. Maybe the second echo drone was in position and I'm overlooking. So
I think it was a sandbag.
it looked like it was the sandbag, but it could have potentially been the echo drone. Who knows? I'd like to give it to Talon to think that he can hold the F key just as well as anyone else. But, you know, very well retaken up top by Obey. And like I was just saying, you know, Grixer lingers. I feel like if you want to get rid of Grixer, you have to fully dedicate your entire team's, you know, drone economy to making sure that you remove him. But because he's playing Mozzie, it makes it basically makes it so that even if you kill him, you've wasted so many drones at that point that you literally have no intel to go off of afterwards. And I feel like that's why teams don't push him in the same way that we've seen teams like fully commit to pushing a roamer in the past.
Yep, I definitely feel like that's the case, and we're actually going to be seeing our first Capitao here. Looking at the scoreboard, though, it's fairly even between both teams, and obviously a little bit more kills going in favor of Obey as they have the round count, but these rounds have been fairly close between these two. Both are very talented teams, and definitely could be swinging either way, and it definitely showing off the defender-sidedness. Oh, oh, that goo mine just fell all the way downstairs for Fozo. That's just unlucky. But with the I completely just lost my train of thought.
With the Capitao being brought by
Yes.
Drip.
Yes, the Capitao being brought by Drip. It's going to make this a lot more... I like the Capitao being brought because it's going to allow for the not only the cover of smoke, but he'll also be able to cut off rotations with those fire bolts, the asphyxiating bolts. So it's definitely going to be a lot more useful, I'd say, than bringing that Zofia, especially since the Maestro has been banned out.
Wall secured.
Yeah, it just brings that little bit of extra cover that they seem to be using. It seems like the style that Akatsuki's trying to use is air jabs in conjunction with holding some, you know, angles in general that are like angles to hold crosses. They're just trying to play into that style of let Obey come to us in a sense while we're attacking. Instead of pushing them, let them come to us and put themselves in unfavorable positions. But it hasn't worked out for them yet, regardless of the positioning of the air jabs. Obviously, Forrest is looking through some bullet holes here, or else he wouldn't be staring straight at that wall like that. There's some client-side debris in the way, but Pixel... Oh, Pixel with a shot onto Forrest, anticipating that beautifully. Fantastic shot, takes control of Christmas and Cigar, and removes the Echo just like that. That's a huge pick early in the round. Still with a minute and a half left, some of the wall is going to start getting opened up by Talon, and things are looking really good for the attack now.
Things looking very good indeed, and what a pre-fire there from Pixel, like you said, and the walls are being opened up by the attack. No Kaid, or I guess the mute jammer's not placed there, possibly getting taken out from the skylight by Drip. That's gonna open up those angles perfectly. You see the gun just left. That's all that remains of the Echo because he honestly just got deleted. Pixel picks up his second kill onto the round with another headshot onto Abinai. 100% headshot rating in this round. Is about 50 seconds left in this round number 5, and it's looking like Akatsuki are looking to try to take this 3-2. They're going to have to go through the rest of this defense first and possibly get that bomb down, as Fozo's still having Legion traps as he's going to be regenerating those throughout the remainder of this round. And still even drones here from Grixer. He has the Nitro Cell ability from below. I'm not sure that Akatsuki will realize this, or maybe they're not choosing to push this out. You even have Fozo here getting a little bit aggressive onto the freezer wall that has been opened up, and you'll hear the fire bolts and the smoke's coming down from the skylight. Call Out will find one though onto Talon. That's the diffuser dropped on the ground. The Nitro will go out, but Call Out hiding in the smoke has nowhere to go. He'll just fall down and get downed. Looks like the diffuser starting to go down. The Nitro comes flying through. Will it stop the plant though? Yes, it will. It'll take down Drip, and it looks like Grixer's actually going to go for the pickup. 7 seconds left, and then they need to put the diffuser back on the ground. With no Nitro Cells left remaining, I don't think Call Out has one. He's going to go for those shots through the floor. Will he be able to deny it? Yes, he will. He'll get the down onto that planter. Excellent play there from the mute to get those shotgun shots up through the floor onto the Nomad.
Wow. Really well played by Grixer. Great composure to know he can pick up Call Out and deny the plant safely. very patiently played by Fozo. I think when the round didn't end as the plant started going down a second time, I think that Fozo thought the round was going to end, and that's why he stopped ADSing. So he just ends up giving his life away for no reason up at the top of the A site. But this vertical pressure being applied by Obey is a huge problem for Akatsuki, and they don't seem to have any answer to it. It's
Attackers need to locate and
like
defuse bombs.
also, and on top of that, the holes in the freezer that Talon made, the attackers couldn't actually rotate through there, which kind of gave the defense that little bit of extra, like that alleviated some of the pressure to know we don't even need to peek the freezer because they can't get through it. So they all pretty much funneled in through the cigar doorway. They didn't push White Hall because Fozo was playing it, and through the new balcony. And obviously Callout playing in that you know, unorthodox position right next to the B bomb was able to hold off the attackers for a little bit and rotate away to safety. And I'm pretty sure Callout had already expended his nitrocell previously, and that's why he was using the shotgun. But the thing about it, that, you know, adding insult to injury, even if Callout had died and Grixer wasn't able to pick up Callout to have that little bit of extra pressure from below, he still also has a shotgun and could have denied the plant just as easily as Callout did.
Yeah, definitely, like you said, still had the ability to clutch that with the intel that they were given through the cameras, but again, we're now 4-1, and Abernai, say goodnight to your Nomad. The spawn kill. Where was this? A nice shot through the bottom of the barricade to take out a big operator. That's going to allow for those rotates to be even easier, as it's a heavy roam game on this first floor. It looks like Callout's aware that there's somebody outside the white garage here, and Dribican might just rotate in through this angle, or maybe just go for the repel. Pixel again putting in big work. He'll take down Fozo. Lesion, and that's a big operator off the board as he gets stronger as the round continues because of those regenerating goo traps. But still have a lot of utility to deal with, and two even trades here between both teams, and Pixel could actually just rotate into sight. It doesn't really look like anybody's holding this. Oh no, could he see him? No, with that Holly camp, but Pixel has the ACOG. He'll spot the head of Grixer and remove it from play. Prophecy also takes down Callout, so it's going to make this an even, could possibly bring this to 4-2 here, as it's a 4v2 on the side of the attack.
Forrest is actually in a good position to deny anybody pushing into reading, but it looks like lots of utility being expended from outside by Drip. However, Abernai has stopped the diffuser from going down momentarily, as it's now being relocated to another position, much safer now, as there's no C4 left. Abernai in a 1v3 scenario has a lot of work to do here and isn't paying attention enough or have any intel on where Prophecy is. Very great attack coming out from Akatsuki here. Even being a man down at the start, they just didn't falter. They took control of exactly what they wanted to, regardless of Prod being alive or dead. And you know, Obey kind of need to reel the reins back a little bit. I feel like they were going on full blast there for a minute, and it just fell apart for them completely. So Force actually going to be bringing Knock. So this is the first time we've seen Knock on this map as well, and this is going to be their first attack. This went about the way that we thought it would, except for that last round I thought was going to go in the favor of Obey with the ban advantage, but it did not. Knock being changed into a Dokkaebi now, and Valkyrie being brought. So if you think about it in the terms of the 6th pick, this actually favors Obey a lot, because now they have extra cameras if they're able to pick up one of those phones from the defenders.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that this will favor the defense, and you gotta assume that Knock is gonna get 6 picked. As I mean, you normally won't show the Knock, because if you're showing the Knock, then you're kind of giving away, yo, like we could be like just snuck up on a camera, so be wary of that. And now that they don't know that it's a Knock, they're gonna be still scared of the possibility of there being a Knock in play. But once they hear those calls ringing out, they should be able to identify that, yo, there's no Knock in play actually, so we just only have to deal with these Dokkaebi calls and make sure that they can't hack our cameras. But again, like you said, an even half coming out, and Pixel putting in big work for his team, trying to keep them in this. But at the 4-2 scoreline, I gotta say that this is it's a decent scoreline for this map, as it's defensive sided. So we could see Akatsuki make this comeback happen on their own defenses, and I definitely look for that to be the case. As looking at Obey, they want to secure these points. You know, they want to try to secure that top spot, or just a spot in general in the relegations to go off against either Rogue or the Sonics. Definitely looking to see if they can't secure another 3 points. And again, Fozo on this IQ is just going to spot out all those Valkyrie gamers.
Well, one thing I want to say about a team like Obey in the position that they're in, being in first place with a pretty sizable cushion of points that they can kind of sit back on, they can't sit back, because complacency is the downfall of a lot of great teams. And Obey have to, at least until they make it to Pro League and beyond that, they need to just full force, foot on the gas, don't let up the pressure, always keep trying to be as good as you possibly can be, regardless of our position in a league or which league we're actually in. If that's the kind of team that they want to be, then I would assume that they're going to try every single match, regardless of how many points they have, just to prove how good they are in comparison to everybody else. But Akatsuki's looking to try to bring that, you know, back in their favor, because like you said, this is defender-sided. They could do a lot of work here if they get a couple rounds in their favor. Prophecy watching this angle, and oh no! Abonai getting taken down by Drip at the start. C4 up towards the top of the red stairs. Prophecy still playing, getting it droned out for a split second. Not sure if the drone really spotted his location or was just in the freezer. Right now though, Drip coming in with a nice pick for his team. Dokubi still on the board, part of the wall, and bathroom being opened up. We see this angle being utilized a lot by the pros, and this gives a nice little pixel onto white that the defenders might not be anticipating. And Call Out and Fozo kind of Call Out and Forrest kind of staring at each other there for a second at the trophy case, kind of like, what do we do next? The wall getting opened up by Grixer now is going to allow another avenue attack, as Prod's going to take down Fozo. Phone call is coming in now. A couple shots raining in, and Prod has no idea where they're coming from, but is going to take another one down at the same time. Grixer with that kill onto Prod, now pushing onto Drip, who flanked up the red stairs, is going to take a lot of damage from behind from Prophecy, who can stay alive, but Call Out with another kill. Oh my gosh, Prophecy is in a great position, but Call Out's going to come up behind him and win the fight. Now in the 2v1 scenario, they have to pinch, and they do! Well played by Obey. Great rotations and communication. If you noticed, all the defenders were looking in different directions at all times. There was never a moment where they could safely say, I'm watching this angle, you watch this. All the defenders were reacting to different callouts at the same time, and that was the biggest problem there. And great plays by Obey, putting themselves in those positions to cause mass confusion among the defenders.
Mass confusion amongst the defenders, indeed. And I mean, they just pinched them perfectly. They had the callouts, they had the angles covered, and it was literally perfect gunplay and perfect gameplay from Obey, as they'll put another round on the board to make this a little bit harder for Akatsuki to come back from. They will be going back to the bar yet again, and this time they're going to be bringing that Echo out. So definitely a big operator, I'd say. Definitely an operator I would assume we would have saw in the first round, but not bringing it out, choosing to bring it out here a second time. The only operator that they're going to be switching up here will be that smoke to the Echo. So again, round number 8 here, and things are just not looking good for Akatsuki. Obey though, very, very strong on Cafe, it seems, and definitely a map that I look to see possibly banned out from them in general going forward, as they're just, I mean, they just look unstoppable in general, you know? Like, they just look like the team that is going to raise hell inside of Pro League if they do end up making it there.
Well, given it is a elevated level of play, once they make it there, they definitely have a lot of forward momentum moving into it, going into at least relegations at the very, least, because that is pretty much what they're guaranteed at the moment, is to get into relegations and to play against Sonics and prove that they deserve that position more than Sonics do, if the standings stay the same. which I'm assuming they will. Drippin needs to be really careful right here, as it looked like there was an attacker right outside that door for a split second, or it might have been my eyes playing tricks on me. Could have been call out. Drip could go for another run out. He seems to try to go for a lot of early kills, and he is going to go for one. Does he spot call out going up to the roof? He runs out and reveals his position, but yielding nothing other than revealing his position. Grix are now going to be looking for that camera to try to get rid of it as soon as possible, just in case they need to move through that area again. Doesn't want to be caught out by that. Forrest droning out Christmas as the defenders are in much more passive positions than we've seen in the past, as Abonai's up at the skylight trying to cut off any of their rotation further.
Yeah. Abonai just checking his ADS key and just making sure that he can aim down sights with that toggle. And oh, this is an angle from. I mean, he's able to use his shield like you used to be able to use the shields with those angles. And even though you can't do that anymore because it's been patched and they just attached to the wall, he moved the shield a little bit back in order to find it. So definitely a big play there from, I guess it was the Talon who brought the shield. I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, either way here, we're going to be seeing the wall start to get opened up here. 1:10 left. It looks like Prod wants to get aggressive onto this, see if he can't find a free kill, but the drone will spot him out, trying to go for that aggression, and he'll come back immediately and pull off on it. Looking again at the drones coming in, still a lot of utility on both sides. Possibility of 3 nitro cells and the 2 echo drones. It's going to be Prophecy on that Jaeger. He'll find 2. Nice double headshot there for the Jaeger. As he was looking for more, he'll take 1 drone out. He's not looking, he's saying, I don't want this to go to match point just yet. He'll try to go for a second, but doesn't spot the player over on the cigar lounge. That's Grixer to finally get the trade. And with about 30 seconds left, they're going to have to make this push happen.
Grixer now going to go for a nade into the freezer now that he's gotten rid of that ADS. Will find it onto Prod. Now in a 3v3 scenario, they can go for the plant. They're going to go for it. Oh no, they actually get off of it because of the shots. Grix on one on the Pixel. And now Drip getting taken out by Abonai as trades all over the place. Talon now 1v1 against Grixer. Grixer, the clutch master, he has been... Oh! With the shot! What a ridiculous shot from Grixer, knowing he hit Talon's exact position through all of the debris, through everything. Oh my gosh. That is a GN if I've ever seen one. My goodness.
A GN indeed, and well deserving of it. And again, I'd like to say, I said it last week, Obey, props to you guys, because you guys have looked a lot cleaner in the chat. That was the first good night I've seen from them in 3 whole Playdays, or 3 whole matches. So definitely they definitely got a lot of flack from the community. I saw a lot of pro players tweeting out, like talking about, talking in chat and Challenger League, like, what are you guys doing? And they pulled back on it. So I'll give Obey credit for that. So props to the pro players for kind of like putting them in a corner, I guess.
That shot from Grixer, if I didn't know for a fact that all of these players are running wire, if he did that to me in ranked, I'd report him for cheating immediately. I'd be like, oh, he's cheating. Like, that was crazy. He knew his exact position. They must have had a drone or something calling.
Well, they had
him
the call out because
spot.
he just killed 2 people from that same spot, so they had the call out for him.
Yeah, that was very well played. And you know, what you noticed when Prophecy got those 2 kills on the players in Christmas, if you'll notice, Grixer and Abonai, who were still alive at that point before those 2 players got taken down, were trying to figure out, can we get rid of this ADS so I can nade the guy in the freezer? You know that's what they're talking about. They're saying, like, hey, get rid of this ADS, I'm going to nade the guy in the freezer. Even after those 2 picks and they retook control of Christmas, they immediately got rid of the ADS, and Grixer immediately went for that nade. They still followed through with their initial plan, even with the lack of players in that engagement that they just lost right before that.
If it runs on batteries, I'll see it.
Yep. And I would like to just say that it's the 3rd time we're going to see Bar. So since turning over the half, Akatsuki have not changed their bomb site at all. They've gone to Bar 3 times, and they've lost it 3 times. They brought...
oh my goodness.
Oh, what a shot by Abonai to take the nitro cell out of mid-air. Not going to be looking for this camera, though, so a little bit of a lack of effort there, I would say, from Fozo, trying to spot out these cameras. But as I was saying, they brought the exact same lineup every time on the site. The only thing that they switched out was in the first round of the half, they brought Smoke instead of Echo. But since then, it's been consistently the Mozzie, Cade, Valkyrie, Echo, Jaeger. I mean, they need to. If they have lost it 3 times in a row, you gotta switch something up. You just can't keep going here and it'll work next. It'll work next round, guys. Like, don't worry, we'll get it this next round. It just doesn't seem viable.
I agree that they have to try something different, but at the same time, like, maybe they're just not confident enough to try anything different. Like this,
True.
they did say that this isn't their map. This is not the map that they wanted to choose. There was something happened before the match in relation to the map bans that I don't know enough details of to talk about, but I would assume that this is not a map that they actually want to play. Forrest with a nade onto Drip now. That's just got to be frustrating at this point. And Grixer holding a nice angle towards Christmas as Forrest holds the angle onto New Balcony. Lots of rotations being cut off by the defenders. If they just happen to walk into these crosshairs, it could spell disaster for them in this round. Already being a man down, it would just be that much worse. Phone call coming out now as Fozo's holding the angle. but it looks like Prophecy was Fozo with a nice readjustment there, knowing that Prophecy was crawling for a little bit there. Talon now walking. Oh my gosh, this angle was being held earlier by Forrest and he got off of it for some reason. Excuse me. As Talon is going to take down one, it's immediately traded back by Abinai. Abinai just running straight at him. Catches Talon with his pants down. Pixel with one. Going for some pre-fires. Can't quite land it. Did he just... Oh, man.
GG.
Stop dead in his tracks. GG. Obey with 3 more points on the board. I think that solidifies first place.
It's got to. I mean, especially with those 2 CL champs. Yep, it looks like it's that right there.
That
so
solidifies first place for them no matter what. They cannot lose first place now after winning that.
Congratulations to Obey.
They could literally forfeit the next match and it won't matter.
For real. Well played to them, indeed. They definitely deserve it. They've definitely looked very strong on these